Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a topic in the XRP community I think a lot of people misspeak about. We're going to be talking about whether or not XRP can be backed by gold. And I actually think that that's the wrong way to look at it. Too many people get the description of what I think is coming wrong. I think XRP one day will help with the transportability of tokenized gold. And after watching this video, I think all of you are going to understand that XRP could very well be a catalyst for seeing the price of gold rise as well. First off, we have this clip from the Black Swan Capitalist, where he interviewed Jim Willie discussing a gold-backed XRP. Let me just say one thing. I do not believe XRP will be gold-backed, but I do believe XRP will help tokenize gold and will be used to help move that value. And the more I hear people discussing this topic, the more I really have to tell all of you about this point I'm about to make.
I've been saying for a very long time, and I've always been an advocate of a digital gold standard. And Judy Shelton always talked about gold, going back to a gold standard to bring stability to the markets and fairness. So when we're talking about like XRP as an alternative, the research says it's going to be gold backed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it in an unusual manner. And I cannot claim to be an expert on this, but I think what's going to happen is that the volume will increase, and at the same time, they're going to lift the price. So you can have two different factors working together to expand the market cap volume, the capability of XRP. And then when you rest, relax, and turn your back, they lift the gold price. I think XRP is going to be a key component, a key factor, and a key device for lifting the gold price.
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I actually agree with that point as well. I think XRP could be used to help pump up the price of gold when it's time. We do know that they've been planning for having a digitized gold and easily transportable gold for a long time now. And left and right from numerous different circles, not just the XRP community, I've heard that gold is making a re-entry into our financial infrastructure. Gold-backed currencies are making their way back into the world. And before I do anything else, I have to remind you of this Bloomberg clip where they essentially tell you what the plan is gonna be. Just understand that we've been telling you what's gonna happen for years now, and we've always been one step ahead.
With central bank stimulus weakening the dollar and gold being only about $100 short of its all-time high, the question has started to arise, can gold replace the US dollar as the world's reserve currency? The dollar has enjoyed this status for decades, but since it detached itself from the gold standard in 1971, it's essentially consistently weakened on a macro level. Confidence in the U.S. government and the political system in the U.S. is one of the keys, and gold doesn't have that issue of a loss of confidence. But what it does have is a problem with transportability. That's why it's more likely that a currency backed in gold, or even a digital asset backed in physical gold, could potentially replace the dollar much more easily than the actual physical bar of gold could.
You see, guys, gold has always been what I like to call God's money. It's trustless money. It's real money. And we've been giving the people, the government's money, fiat money, depreciation money. There is a global shift happening right now towards a more decentralized financial approach. And at the heart of it are the BRICS nations. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa have added 6 nations in Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. And there has been plenty of discussion by some of the highest level economists in the world about a gold-backed currency coming out for the BRICS nations that they trade in, a BRICS payment system, and in my personal opinion, with people talking about XRP helping with digitized gold, with people talking about digitized gold as a whole, we now have BRICS potentially being backed by gold. Ladies and gentlemen, gold is going to play a major role in this new financial system and whatever reset they bring to the earth in one way, shape, or form. And all I want you to understand is that we were here first, pointing it out. Every possibility is on the table. I think XRP and gold are going to be a powerful solution for real financial problems. And you don't have to listen to me say it. Jim Rickards is telling you what the big boys have already planned out.
So what is the brick? And by the way, I don't know if they're going to call it a brick. I'm saying brick for convenience. It doesn't matter what they call it, but I just call it a brick for the time being. They'll come up with a name. Who knows? The value of the brick is not determined with reference to any other currency. It's determined with reference to gold by weight of gold. Now, and I don't know the weight, they'll pick one, but again, it doesn't matter because it's not even, it's math, it's logic. And by the way, now we're back to Aristotle's transitive law. And this is the key. This unlocks the whole thing because Aristotle said, you know, if A equals B equals C, then A equals C. The B can drop out. It's not even arithmetic. It's logic. It's called the transitive law. I'm certain that Aristotle invented it. If any Greek scholars know an earlier source, let me know. So what the BRICS have done is they have dodged the biggest bullet, the thing that caused Bretton Woods ultimately to fail, the thing that potentially stands in the way of all this. They've defined their currency by weight of gold. Now, a weight of gold has a dollar value, right? So A equals B equals C. 1 brick equals one, could be an ounce or a kilo, it doesn't matter. Call it an ounce. 1 brick equals 1 ounce of gold equals today, 1970. Okay. Well, through the transitive law, drop out the B and 1 brick equals 1970, $1,970. But that's constant. I mean, that logic works for a moment in time, but it's not fixed because the price of gold is going to fluctuate daily or minute by minute, right? So what's going to happen is the dollar gold, call it exchange rate, the dollar price of gold. So the LBMA, the COMEX, the London Metals Exchange, JP Morgan unallocated forward contracts, the whole huge gold market in dollars is still going to exist. In fact, the BRICS want it to exist. And if I could just digress for 1 minute, Steph, I've never seen an international monetary economic problem with more, that has created more confusion. I won't say misinformation, that's a little trite, but just confusion or maybe deliberate hyperbole than this one. Because let me tell you what this is not. I'm going to tell you what it is, but it's important to know what it's not. This is not the petro yuan. This is not the petro ruble. This is not a gold-backed yuan. This is not a gold standard. This is not the end of the US dollar. It's not the end of the euro. It's not the end of the world. It's not any of those things, but that's what everyone's running around on websites or whatever shouting about. It's none of those things. In fact, quite the opposite. And this is where the Russian mentality comes in. The BRICS want the dollar to be around. They want the dollar gold market to exist because they get the free ride. The dollar has to do all the dirty work in the gold space, and BRICS get the free ride by declaring 1 brick equal to a weight of gold. Again, weight's the key. They just let the dollar gold market go wherever it goes, and the brick is worth an ounce or whatever, kilo, whatever. And yeah, the dollar equivalent under the transitive law changes, but they're not pegged to the dollar. They're not fighting that fight. So this, I analogize this. It's like you're in your house, in the backyard, your landscaper is like digging trenches and putting in plants and sweating and doing all this work, and you're sitting there with a glass of iced tea enjoying the view. In other words, the BRICS get to free ride on the dollar gold system, and they want that system. They don't want it to go away because they get the benefit of a gold value. Now think of what the BRICS don't have to do in this scenario. They don't have to buy gold. They don't even have to own gold. They do, but no one in the world has enough gold to back a currency. This currency, the BRIC, will not be redeemable into gold. Now, maybe there's a dealer somewhere who will take it. That's between you and the dealer. But it's not like you're going to be able to march down to the People's Bank of China with a pile of bricks and say, give me the gold. They're not going to do it. So it's not redeemable. They're not going to make a market. They're not going to maintain a value because they don't have to, because it's by weight. They just get to sit back and piggyback on the dollar gold system and let the dollar do all the dirty work, with one twist. And here's the Russian contribution. So you don't have to close your capital account. You can close it, open it, whatever. You don't have to buy gold. You don't have to make a market. You don't even need that much gold. You just say, this is the ultimate fiat currency. The word fiat in Latin means I say so. Well, they say so, and there it is. And they put the United States, they're basically, Steph, this is a bet. This is a bet that the dollar is going to collapse against gold over time. I think that's a very good bet.
Now that right there, my friends, is exactly why I wanted you to listen to Rickards. He talked about the dollar and the prevalent narrative that the dollar is going to zero. And yes, guys, the dollar is fiat, and all fiat eventually go to zero. The dollar is still going to have its status. The dollar is not going away. But what I think they're going to introduce into this new system is a BRICS currency, is some XRP on-demand liquidity, and is some gold to help stabilize us when the shit hits the fan. We're so close to that moment. And always remember the important role gold is going to play. Now, guys, for those of you that have been paying attention, John Deaton today is making an important announcement at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitter. And I think we're all going to be shocked with what he has to say. There's been a whistleblower in the community recently that has a lot to share in regards to everything we believed about ETHgate. And I'm going to make a deep dive video for every single one of you after this announcement later tonight. Because whatever's about to be disclosed is about to be powerful, and I think will shake the XRP community to its core. Tune into that, guys. And in addition, if you aren't doing so already, please follow me on Instagram down in the description below, as I posted an AMA on my story, so that if any of you have crypto questions, I've made myself available to answer them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
you.